So, Lesson 1, page 1. The first thing we see is a review of the technique by key that was presented in the end of Book 1. And if we turn the page over to page 2, there's a narrative there that goes through each of the parts of the technique in the key of F. So number 1, the scale patterns. First we have scale pattern number 1. Remember, when you get to the top, you repeat the top and keep the pattern the same in both directions. Then number 2, let's see. Etc. when you get to the top. All the way back. And number 3 is the triads. And number 4 is the inversion. Okay. Now we go to number 2, the diatonic sevenths. First we have root position. First inversion. Then second. Okay, and then we go to the 7th chords. Number 3 on page 2 talks through our routine for the 7th chords. If you remember, we'll play the crashes in root position 2 times, up and down, then the right hand arpeggio up 2 times, then the left hand arpeggio down 2 times. So we'll start with F major 7 in root position. minor 7. So on through our list of chords. And then we go to the tensions, and the tensions you play first up, first for F major 7. You say the functions 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, sharp 11, 13, then minor 7, 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7, 9, 11, 13, then dominant 7. 1, 3, 5, flat 7, flat 9, natural 9, sharp 11, flat 13, natural 13, etc. through the list. And after you finish going through all the chords up, then you go down. So we go back to major 7, and we start at the top, 13, 13, sharp 11, 9, 7, 5, 3, 1. Minor 7, 13, 11, 9, flat 7, 5, flat 3, 1, dominant 7, 13, flat 13, sharp 11, sharp 9, natural 9, flat 7, 5, 3, 1. And then you would continue down the list through all the chords for the tensions going down. This technique by key routine should be getting faster already if you've been doing it. And remember that you go through the keys chromatically. If you're starting here on F, then the next key would be G flat, and then G and A flat all around the circle. And keep in mind that in the book it talks about doing material each practice day, and that could be translated to be each practice cycle. And for some people, they would do an entire practice cycle in one day, and for other people they may take 2 days or 3 days. This is fine as long as it's organized. People with more experience or people who have more time to practice will do more in one day, and people that are slower or don't have so much experience or don't have so much time will take longer to go through their practice cycle. The important thing is that you are practicing with an organized approach and you keep everything going. Okay, now we go to number 2 on page 3. This is the voice leading that we were doing in lesson 25 of book 1. And remember, the voice leading means that you go from one chord to the next with a minimum amount of motion, and you accomplish that by retaining the common tones in the same voice and moving to the closest position of the chord. So we turn over to page 4, and we have a melody there on a common chord progression. And we're starting there with E minor 7 flat 5 in second inversion. So let's try that. Or, on the bottom, starts in root position. Remember that as you voice lead, your left hand will work its way down the keyboard, and periodically you have to jump out of the voice leading and change in order to change position so that you don't get down too low. So it's a combination of voice leading and block sections and adjusting for the range. You want to do one or two of these songs, sight reading chord symbol music. And there's, on page 5, I talk about some composers of standard tunes. That's not all of them, but it's a lot of them. And you want to play one or two of these each practice day or each practice cycle. And you want to play each tune only once or maybe twice. And that way you'll really be sight reading. And I think that's what will help you the most. Okay, now we go down to the bottom of page 5 to number 3. And we talk about our extensions. This is the first in a series of exercises that will begin to apply the tensions that we learned to the chords in an organized exercise fashion. And this will be applied with two hands. And if we turn over to, there's a narrative there on page 5 about we're going to use these tensions in two different ways. One way is by exercise and one way is by construction. That is harmonizing tunes. But if I turn over to page 6, you see that we have major 7th chords listed there with 9, sharp 11, and 13. And there are 3 positions. First position is 1 and 7, and 3, 5, 7, 9 in the right hand. And the second position is 1 and 10, and 5, 7, 9, 11, or sharp 11 here. If you have trouble reaching that, you can break that by playing the bottom note alone, holding it with the pedal, and then everything else. And on the third position, you can do the same thing. This is 1, 5, 10, 7, 9, sharp 11, and we can either play it all together if you can reach it, or you can play the bottom note alone, and everything, and hold it with the pedal, and everything else goes down. Okay, then on the bottom of page 6, we have the extensions in first position written out. Okay, we have the first 3 keys of our cycle written out. Let's try this in the circle of fifths. There's a little pedal in between. And then on top of page 7, we have second position. Remember, when you play those tenths, you can play them both notes at the same time, or if you need to, you can break them. Well, let's try that. Or break. And then third position. Then if we turn over to page 8, you're going to write the first position for extensions for major 7 and the 15 standard keys. Remember to spell true to the scale of the root of the chord. And on page 9, you write the second position. And on page 10, the third position. And that's the end of lesson 1.